You can't tell from my eyes.
Take a cup of tea.
It's been, where's my tea, by the way? But I've not been doing well this week.
Yeah.
I've not been doing well. I've been so up and down, so busy, so it's good. We are getting back there. But things has been really tough of recent. I think it affected everyone. So it's not something new anymore.
Wow.
We got used to the struggle. So, but I'm glad, I thank God I'm here, I'm speaking, I'm alive. Man, that's all we need. We have to thank God for every moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to find out Christmas plans, but we're reflecting on what was Christmas like for you growing up, and also please highlight for us exactly where you grew up from, given the many languages you're speaking this morning.
I grew up in a life where the chicken was really a special meal.
I know.
And every time I could go to visit my family, like in the village, the first thing my father would do was to kill a chicken.
Which country is this we're talking about?
This is Bukavu, DRC Congo.
Okay.
I'm from the eastern of DRC, in Bukavu. Now in Bukavu, there is a village, because like you have Baganda, Basoga. So me, I'm from the bush, the bash. Yeah, I'm a Mushi. I'm a Mushi from Congo. We speak a lot of Swahili and French because of the school, but yeah, that's where I'm from. So I was saying, every time I could go to visit my father, he just killed the chicken, and I'll feel special, you know. But when Christmas comes and you know, everyone, the families, friends comes around to visit you, and it feels special because you have too many stories to share together. The journey of the year from beginning, what you went through, and you celebrate for that reason. Though many of us grew up never knew what was the meaning of that season. Why? Why? So me as a Christian, I just grew up knowing in Christian we go to church more time than ever. You know, like you go to church.
Service is longer than ever.
Yes, so you find it really interesting. But as you grow up, you go to realize that actually Christmas comes from the religious side. You know, from the religious side, because you celebrate the name Jesus more than ever. Yeah, so it's a special thing, and we're always happy, grateful to reach the season, Christmas.
Wow.
Okay, all right.
Christmas it is.
This is very interesting, this story. Okay, so now speaking of celebrating, I know you are celebrating your music milestone in such a way that you do have a new song that is out, and it's titled God is Good. And we can all attest that, by the way, God has been good. Tell us about the backbone of this song, its inspiration.
I'm a very weird artist, if I'm to say sometimes, because I've never felt being settled in just singing about one thing, which has confused most of my followers. But some of them go to understand that if you look at Jonathan Butler, who will sing "Falling in Love with Jesus," is the same person who will go and sing "No Woman No Cry." You know, Jonathan Butler is a South African artist. So I'm in that kind of category. I do sing about God because I'm a church boy, but at the same time I'm a church boy who is wide. I'm my mind open. I got to understand that religious or God is not for one or for this particular group of people. He gives all of us the same blessing. So I decided to go to encourage people. My music is not just like singing about God, no. Just this season I said, let me sing about God, because, man, Corona came from nowhere. Some of us had no savings, you know, and you survive when you don't know you're actually surviving. And this song came to me as a thanksgiving to God. Indeed, he's been a good God to us. If I'm speaking today, I can't tell you that I earn this much monthly. You know, some of you guys are lucky. You know how much you earn monthly. For us, we survive on a call. You know, I have a job. When they didn't call you, you're not going to work. So why should you pretend, you as Sharmam Shaga, not telling people how God is good in your life.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes maybe I have my car 50K and that's all I have, and in a day I spend it all. Tomorrow I don't know what is coming. From nowhere a call rings. Hey, can you do this? And I'm like, yes. So it's been God from the beginning. To me, it's a testimony of letting the world to know how God is good, because really he is good to me.
Okay, well, he's going to be performing that single this morning here on Special Friday, and of course much more. And some people were wondering if you're going to do that thing that you do with the guitar. Yeah, well, we will find out after the break. We're going to be taking a break, and then we'll return, of course, with the news roundup with Felix and Ivan. And then the other side of the hour, we have distorted things for you so that you have a good time with Chalma. That is in our 8 o'clock hour. Exactly at 8 o'clock, this man is going to be taking the floor. And so make sure that you remove all the glasses, the caps, yeah, and create dancing room for you, because he's kick-starting you into the Christmas festive season.
I can't wait.
Right?
I can't wait.
Okay, all right, so we will be back shortly.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Raising voices.
I feel happy when my mother spends time with me. I hope all mothers will like my mother. I want my mother to reach out to all mothers. She knows how important it is to be a good mother. I promise to help my mother inspire other mothers to change.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
This weekend on UBC.
Culture does not make people. People make culture. Now, if it is true that a full humanity of women is not our culture, then we must and should make it part of our culture. My name, as usual, is Drago. I'm pretty excited today to introduce to you a trailblazer. She uses her voice and numbers on Twitter to influence society.
My name's Kembabas Joan. I'm 22 years old. I'm an environmental scientist by profession. I personally believe in a gender equal world. So I just want to see a world where girls enjoy their rights. I want to see a world where girls thrive. I want to see a world where girls can make choices for themselves.
It's super cool to be a mask superhero, to get the spread of the virus to zero. Did you know that just wearing a mask is not enough? Yes, correctly wearing a mask will protect you and others, but you still have to remember to wash your hands with clean running water and soap, or using a sanitizer, socially distance, and avoid crowded areas. Wearing a mask helps protect you and others from spreading viruses. To get the spread of the virus to zero.
Good morning once again, and thank you so much for keeping it here with us on Good Morning Uganda. Now, today being a Friday, we also do a wrap up of what's been in your tabloids, what's been in your media, of course, basically looking at current affairs in terms of the matters that do touch our country in terms of going concern. Now, today in a special way, we have been having a marathon of the week, quite a number of activities, and for us, we choose to speak about some of those that did dominate the airwaves. And on top of them, there's been a lot of mayhem. Yesterday there was a by-election, and of course, among many others. But anyway, let me first of all say good morning to Kawa, because he's the one here with me today. He's the field man, he's a soldier, he's a foot soldier who is always in the field trying to deal with these ups and downs. Morning, Kawa.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
You insist on looking like a Briton every Friday.
Kind
with
of.
That sweater, with the jacket. What's the inspiration? Is it Prince Charles? Is it Corbyn? Is it Boris Johnson? Or is it Mr. Bean?
Apparently it's the circumstance, the coldness, you know, and the operation of the area where we're in.
Because you wake up earlier.
Yeah, true.
Okay, how have you been?
I've been well.
How's been the week for you?
The week has been fine. I just returned yesterday from DRC. That's where we were with the issue of
the operation
Shuja.
Shuja.
Yes.
So
I returned yesterday from all that.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to look at the reality side, whatever is happening the other side, and yeah, quite a number of issues that I really got to know.
In just 2 words, if I ask you how the situation, just 2 words, what would you say?
The situation is, as of now, normal, I would say, because they last striked yesterday but one, I think, and that strike lasted for about 50 minutes.
50?
Yes.
Well, as you were there, we were here trying to prepare for the by-election in Kayunga, and among very many others.
Yes.
But of course, most outstanding was the one in Kayunga, where we have seen His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, go down there, try to garner support for the candidate, the NRM candidate. We also saw the NUP president was stopped from traveling there. Reasons were given by both RDC and of course security. Election went on yesterday. Yes. I think by today morning we know who was won or who's winning, if I may put, which we won't put in discourse, but we want to just take a general look at these by-elections. We can put major focus. It seemed like we were back at the February mayhem. Or it looked more like we were in that kind of thing. Shall we ever get past this type of politics? Or what do you make of this Kayunga re-election thing?
I think in the first place, what we did to really consider that this is politics. The things come and go. Leaders are voted in, voted out. It shouldn't be a matter of life and death. We shouldn't lose people. We shouldn't hurt, injure people. simply because we are in an election. And surprisingly, this is an election that is, you know, district governor, by the way, is a very important person. It's a big office. Because to me, I think that is the most crucial office in the political helm, if I could say, at that level and the technicalities. So irrespective of many things that are really happening, I think it is high time we sit down and reflect the importance of letting the public decide on whom they want to lead them. And that is quite very critical. And when you look at the situation that really happened in Kayunga, you find that the level of threat was not only to the supporters of either NUP and whatsoever, but it has well entangled even the members of the Fourth Estate, the people who are supposed to disseminate information. So you find that in circumstances where such by-elections are being conducted and quite a number of people become victims of the process, it is something you should question and then ask yourself who brings in that aspect of discomfort. Who is the lead, you know, who causes that? Who is responsible for it? Is it the deployment by the state? Is it the defiance we are looking at from the party that is opposing? Is it something political? And you find that, by the way, there are quite a number of people there, the NRM, you know, leaders. Apart from the president, you had all the others. Exactly. There were quite very many. And it's good to drum support for your candidate, but as well, it should be a considerate move from all sides. For example, why wouldn't you let an opposition person, for example, Chagulanyi, the president of NUP, what is the reason as to why you wouldn't allow him to go and, you know, campaign? I think the ground needs to be level to the extent that, fine, you're going to campaign, but we have these well-streamlined guidelines that you're supposed to follow. But even as the guidelines are not yet implemented, there is that process of inconvenience. Either someone thinks there is a potential threat where this specific person is going, and what comes up is trying to mitigate, to prevent what you may call violence that is more likely to happen. And sometimes by the containing what you envisage to happen in that regard as well can qualify to create a situation that is entirely violence. But regardless, what does this even portray? You know, when certain things happen, Felix, there is that way it shapes the mindset of the voter. It even creates sympathy in terms of casting your ballot. Once people are disgruntled, they are seeing the process is not entirely clean. They will decide to vote out of anger. And once they vote out of anger, in other words, it will even affect service delivery. For example, for the tentative results show that the opposition leading candidate was actually on the lead. So technically, if this person wins an election and he or she is disgruntled, it entirely means that by the time they assume office, they will not be at the political will of moving service delivery to where people want it to be. Because one, they are annoyed, they are too angry against the state, and they think to operate in that office, they should be opposing the aspirations of the state as a whole. So I think we really need to refocus and just let the people conduct their will without creating situations that may make us lose credit, because everyone loses credibility when such things happen.
But then just to as we leave that particular issue of Kayunga, you see, in a bid for us to enforce democracy, and majorly which manifests itself in times of elections, it is one of the most primary ways we can judge democracy, the existence of democracy in a civil state like Uganda. And elections like this are the best manifest for us to do, you know, try and understand. Do you feel that our elections, starting with Uganda and probably Africa by far, have failed to appreciate the great and the fundamental norms of democracy?
You see, sometimes we just have to talk about democracy, but the reality of how you achieve the... Exactly. So the reality of achieving the democracy now is what we need to look at. For me, I think the democracy we have to define now is that there is an election, state deploys policemen, the army, to protect and oversee the process of democracy. That is in the first place.
That's the expectation.
That's the expectation. But where deployment is done to disable a leg of one person,
A
and you
democratic
expect
process.
them, so the moment you hinder the democratic process, then there is no democracy at all. But democracy now becomes 100% achieved when there is a winner. So once you win, Felix, you will never say, there was no democracy.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've won.
It's
So
for
you
the
will
one
say,
who has won.
Exactly, because you've won.
It's just
then
like justice.
democracy is applicable. Yes, when you win a case in court,
You're the one who has
courts are
got
working.
injustice.
Exactly, courts are working. But when you lose a case, court is
I
a
know,
vetezito
I know.
yamba.
So-
So these are the realities
Yeah.
we have to look at. But let's support the entire process
Yeah.
of democracy so that everyone is happy. You see, democracy, even someone who loses, by the way, when democracy is clear, that person
They'll
will
be happy
concede
about
defeat
the process.
and they will work together. I'll give you an example. Look at the issue of Bitiana, where Nabakoba and that lady, you know, when she went to court, I was surprised that the two ladies were actually in the same place, and the other MP called on the person who where court overturned the entire election process. And they were speaking, all of them gave a speech, and there was no attack. This is what I want to see in the politics of Uganda. But the aspect of Onogundi, Banzibi,
But you see,
you know.
But also, let me just say this. You see, Ivan, you must also take cognizance of the fact that politics must be politics at the end of the day. It's a shark that will only fish when it's enticed. And that's what we see normally. But just leaving that, because we are waiting to know who won and various places. We also know that in one place we saw the ballot papers came with no candidate having NRM and all these kind of things. But we know those are, we'll get an explanation from the Electoral Commission. But also something quite intriguing and disturbing happened this week, and probably springing from all, it's like it's an overflow from what's been happening.
Yes.
The doctors have been striking. It's coming to about 2 months or so or something.
Yeah.
And it's got intensified last week and this week. This week we saw even some of them were tear gassed. Yesterday they went to court, are made to understand. They petitioned government, and of course seeking courts to pass an order against some of the. You've done some of these stories. You've reached out to these guys, and I just want to ask, for starters, a very direct question. Where is the problem with it? Is it the medical practitioners? Is it government? Is it their parents? Is it their grandfathers? What is the problem?
You see, first of all, I want to first appreciate the medical interns on the move they did.
To do what? Which move? They have done many moves while you're in Congo, Kawa.
This specific strike, you know, to me, I'm looking at it at the aspect that this simple strike represents a bigger problem.
It's
in
an
the entire
eye-opener.
country. It's an eye-opener.
Indeed.
What the doctors are doing is the same thing the engineers will do. Others are quiet. What they are doing is the same thing journalists will do. Journalists do,
Sooner
but
or
they are
later,
also quiet. What they are doing, it is even what other professions are doing. And that should be an eye-opener. And to me, I think, you see, there is this analogy that when you're going to do internship, it is just a training.
They're helping you.
Yes, but you are offering a service. This even comes back to the education system. And there are different levels of internship. But for the medics, I will isolate it, because even when they are at school, they are doing exactly what they will do during internship. They are, you know, conducting surgeries, they are prescribing drugs, they are counseling people. So entirely through their well strategically manifested education process, it is very clear that when they make certain demands, it is relevant. You can't compare it with some of other professions whereby you even come out of school claiming that, let me use our own selves, claiming that you're a journalist, but you cannot operate a camera simply because the school you studied in did not have a camera or studio where you could do what we're doing now. So entirely you go to conduct internship when you're zero. You're just going to see a camera at UBC for the first time. But you even graduated. This is different from a medical doctor.
Absolutely.
Now, you see, this is not even a political debate, the issue of medics. It is not English, you know. One, you would think that if the doctors were well aware that the president said we are going to increase your salaries, you know, and you remember they were supposed to be paid the 2.5 million, that is this year, and then they envisaged that by next year they will have, you know, increased the top up. Now, the concern would be the truth of the matter. The issue is not salary, as many people are saying. Salary is just a simple component of the motivational factor for this medic to keep working. It is a reality that most of the medical interns are operating in many of our hospitals under supervision, as doctors, under supervision by the superiors. And look at the issue of what to use, the PPEs and whatsoever, the risk that they go through in that regard. I remember I was in Masaka, and there is a lady who was pregnant. She did not have transport, you know, to go somewhere. But we decided to drive and rush this lady to the hospital in Masaka. But upon reaching there, when I went to the ward, I told the doctors, you know, I have an emergency. They looked at me. They said, she's not the first person to get pregnant. So when she reached, they told the woman, please stand. So I realized that the perception I have is totally different when you go in the hospital. They are used to this, something like that. They are expected to come with their gloves, to come, and this is the reality now.
If you don't have them,
if you
they have nothing to do for you.
They have nothing to do with you because the risk.
That's a government hospital.
It's a government hospital, well established. Now that is the risk. So that is why now, that medical intern, to make him or herself safer while conducting the operations under that meager motivation of the low salary, they are nothing to use. So you find it is a medic-intern relationship and the patient to achieve any form of operation and service. That's where it has reached. Now, what would be the responsibility of government in terms of ensuring that these medics are comfortable when they're doing that job? First of all, it is not under any law about it is not written anywhere that, you know, medical interns are supposed to be paid by government and etc. But I think it is one of the prerequisites by government to ensure that at least if these people are working in our facilities, then we have to make sure that they are safer. But Felix, you cannot conduct operations, prescribe medicine, when your standard of living remains the same. Terrible. It's terrible. It is one thing.
No wonder they are corrupt.
It also happens. So you find that this thing really needs people who can strategically think and understand what magnitude of a problem that would happen if these medics decide to sit down. Most of them have different experiences depending on how they have been operating. And similarly, there is no profession that doesn't have risks. For example, I was even talking with someone. What do you think of that pilot? A single flight is having about 200 passengers on board, and all their lives are just in two people, the pilot and the co-pilot. Yeah. These are the people in the plane. It's risky, right?
Absolutely.
You had journalists who are beaten during the Kayunga. They are beaten every day. Depending on their profession, it's risky. And all of them need, you know, this kind of motivation to work. So what simply the doctors, I think, are saying that we need to operate in a situation where we do not put our lives in danger simply because the person who allocates funds to buy the gloves, the PPEs, the protection, you know, and all what is necessary for the doctors to use while operating, it is quite very critical. And I think this is one aspect that government needs to focus. But however, Felix, I don't think, in my objective opinion, that the long-lasting solution to make demands for any situation to get better is through striking. You know, you have the Uganda Medical Association, you have the Ministry of Health, you have this salary review commission, you have that association of the intern doctors and etc. I think there are quite a number of avenues that ought to be followed in that regard, you know, to achieve certain things. And imagine if I come one day and said, you know, Felix, nkusubiza on Christmas, ngenda kuwayo akakadde. Ogende weyagale. So the fact that I have promised you that magnitude of money, I may even affect your will to be productive until that day. So
Okay.
if the money doesn't come, what happens? You'll become a problem to me because you have also used my promise to promise your kid, I will take you here, I will take you here. So at the end of the day, the kids will put pressure on you.
Then
That
you have
daddy,
to
you
put
promised
pressure.
this. Then you come and put pressure on me who promised you the 1 million. I will say I don't have it. At the end of the day, that is the beginning of violence and
Absolutely.
commotion.
Indeed.
So these promises you make without fulfilling have a danger. You know, you promise that doctor, he will say, okay, I've worked for 2 years without pay, but they have said they are giving me the 2 million. Let me work. The days are moving. The day reaches, no money.
Nothing
so
is
if
coming.
they strike and
You're simply
become
it's a
unruly,
reminder. In short.
do you say you are doing a bad thing?
Anyway,
I don't.
we just want to take a sneak peek into what's in the tablet, Kawa. We have here the big headline in the day in a New Vision. Why Muhoozi wants Kaihura pardoned. And of course, Kayunga poll, what awaits new chairperson. And government releases 35 billion for striking interns. Lovely. And of course, I help my child. He is addicted to the phone. How do you deal with such challenges? But of course, crossing over to the other nations, in Kenya there we see the Daily Nation where we have Ruto MPs plot showdown on Uhuru and Raila Azimio plans. Of course, they tell you political parties in coalitions that is a sponsor their respective candidates in elections other than presidential race. And of course, storm over plan to shut 36 nut branches and to raise the retirement age. Ivan, the week is done. We are waiting to go into another week, but I would want to hear from you just some of the last remarks in relation to what do we expect out of what's going on. The government has released some money, as one of the tabloids has given us, but where are we heading? We're heading into Christmas. It's going to be a nice season. Anything special you want to say, how you're going to spend your Christmas? What do you do on Christmas? I know you love biking. I don't know, it's called cycling or biking.
No, biking.
He's one of the guys who was greatly passionate about biking. He has his bike, and you should see him in that outfit. You wouldn't know it is the car.
Well, it reminded me. I saw KCCA. They were boasting about the non-motorized transport corridor, and I even repeated. I told them that project, mind you, it has not really served the purpose.
Yeah, it's so up to
it
today.
became
It has
a
failed.
market. You don't have where you can ride from. You can't move freely.
See, Kawa bought his bikes. Now he
have never passed that peacefully. Or and they will complain.
I can imagine.
And even as people go to Christmas, you know, there is this kind of amplified excitement because the economy is going to be reopened. And by the way, I used to celebrate Christmas then.
Oh, and now?
My parents, Christmas. That's the mindset I grew up in. But at the time I reached a point and I tried to understand the gymnastics of life, I gave on Christmas. It's just like any other day. So the issue of Christmas, it's all about spending. You know, it's one day in a year, but people spend it as if they will not live for the next days, and it leaves them into danger.
But remember, also help remind our parents out there, 10th January, kids are going back to school. So as you spend for December, remember there is the humongous expenses that will come with opening.
Find hungry people.
I can tell you. I can tell you. But for some of the other people who are happy, for some of us, it's the best time for us to buy things like land, cars, and whatever. So come. So, dear viewers, make sure you do prepare yourselves. Be, of course, modest when you're spending. But from us here, the team at Good Morning Uganda, we don't tire to tell you, endeavor to prevent yourselves from the spread of COVID-19. Don't be a part of the statistics. Be able to wear a mask when you're in congested places. If you can avoid them, the better. Look out to wash your hands. Make sure you're vaccinated. That's key. Make sure you're vaccinated. Uganda is fairly doing well in terms of vaccination. If we have over 7 million people vaccinated, you know, our target was looking at 4 point what. By the end of year, we are almost double. Actually, we should have doubled it by now.
We are very
look at the new statistics. I think we are doing well, so let's continue with that spirit. But of course, Good Morning Uganda Friday special is up and running. And as we said earlier, we have someone very special in the house. That specialness is what we're going to share with you when we come back after this break.
It's super cool to be a mask superhero, to get the spread of the virus to 0. Did you know that just wearing a mask is not enough? Yes, correctly wearing a mask will protect you and others, but you still have to remember to wash your hands with clean running water and soap, or using a sanitizer, socially distance, and avoid crowded areas. Wearing a mask helps protect you and others from spreading viruses. To get the spread of the virus to 0.
Introducing the all-new Roofing's TMX 500C rebars with cut and bend surfaces. Roofing's, strength of a nation.
Good morning to you once again. Thank you so much, Felix and Ivan, for that week's roundup. It's been insightful. Definitely having a deeper insight gives you informed decisions to make regarding what's happening around us and how it gets to affect you. Now, speaking of what is happening around us, personally, me, I've been here, and what has been happening around me has given me goosebumps because Chamat is with us this morning, and we are so excited to have him here with us as we come to the final bundle. Good morning, Uganda, the year 2021. We couldn't have done a better decision to have this man with here. People on social media have tweeted, retweeted, people on statuses have commented, said, oh my goodness, how did you get that guy? He's so good, he's so talented, I've been following him, Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, introducing to you Chamat on the ones and the twos before we get to know him any further. Baby Don't Cry is the intro song they're doing for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, this song is called Baby Don't Cry.
Sotazigenda na muko ezo zengere nkambwe kati zebangerera misinga bulobubozo bumfwenyo njagala buli obuyimba mama bwe ayimba waliwo kali akaleeto tulo njagala buli akansirisanga nkaba oh mama. Musota zigenda na mugo ezo zengere nkambwe kati zebangerera misinga buli obubuuzo bumfwenyo njagala buli obuyimba maama bwe ayimba waliwo kali akaleeta otulo njagala kali akansirisanga nkaba oh mama baby don't cry baby don't cry baby don't cry baby don't cry. Ladies and gentlemen, with me on the mic, Solomon Kalungi. Come on, Solomon.
Tula kumpi nango omuntu ngwezo emitwetwe gyenteko omutwe nga wanyiga obwo obuyimba bwo n'eddoboozi lyo byebinanfuukira ppire gonderera nyimbira wempumulira nyimbira awo wempumulira.
Sing it again, come on.
Tula kumpi nango omuntu ngwezo emitwetwe gyenteko omutwe nga wanyiga buyimba bwo n'eddoboozi lyo byebinanfuukira ppire gonderera nyimbira wempumulira nyimbira wempumulira nyimbira mama wange.
Baby don't cry, yeah. Baby don't cry,
baby don't cry,
baby don't cry, baby don't cry, baby don't cry, yeah, yeah. Baby don't cry, baby don't cry. Thank you. Thank you.
To cry.
Don't cry.
The song is making me cry, and you're telling me, baby, don't cry.
Maybe we
That's
sing
very
it with
ironic.
Baby Jesus. Oh, man.
Okay, well, Shalma Mushaga with us this morning. Good to have you once again. And wow, it's so awesome to listen to your music in person. We used to follow some of the bands that you played in. As long as this Shalma, no, rest assured, it's going to be amazing. So glad to know that you are still pushing on with this music journey. What has this journey been like for you?
It's been a long one, first
Yeah.
of all, and very interesting, but enjoyable. So that's why I'm always grateful to God, because I don't know if you used to go to Catch the Sun, that became Gatomato.
Definitely, definitely.
We used to be
On
there
Fridays. Yes.
It was fire, and I remember we were with Solomon Kalungi. We've come from far.
Yeah.
Solomon Kalungi was always there. Young Daisy, my Karamojongo sister that I miss so much.
Who's in the States, right?
Yeah, she's in Canada
Yeah,
right
she's
now.
in Canada.
And after that,
Oh, you had Mercy Barrow.
Mercy Barrow.
We had Barrow
Yeah.
last week here.
Oh, really?
Actually. Yes. Yeah.
that's my daughter. I call her my daughter.
Oh, wow. Then
musically.
you have done a good job in mentoring.
Yeah, I'm an uncle.
Okay.
So it's been an interesting journey, but I'm grateful that every year there is a step ahead. I don't remember any single year that I've gone back. I don't remember. Contracts has come in and go, but you know, you just find walking through the fire and going back to your standard. And all these are testimonies. I'm so grateful. It's been really good, and God has been so good to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's that stereotype that usually for your kind of artistry, when it comes to instrumental and jazz field of music, you always are maybe supposed to be in a band. The upcoming artists that always have gotten this picture that you've got to be in a band to belong to some group to be able to enjoy and play this kind of music. But then you seem to have defined yourself, stepped out of the stereotype and now becoming your own artistry.
True.
Let's talk about that journey.
There is a star that God gave me. There is a star that I discovered as I grow up, and this star, it shines when I'm working with other people, and I got to learn that for me to be happy or for God to bless me more, I need to support other people's gifts, talents, and one thing that I can tell you that there is no any upcoming band or upcoming artists that I've worked with that is not successful right now. If we start counting every band I step in and start working with, my guitar contribution only makes the whole thing like sound different, and so. And there is a secret behind that. That's why I started by saying there is a star, because I got a very good interpretation of the guitar. You know, how you use the guitar to become a spiritual message.
Could you share with us this interpretation? Because there's so many people that have learned instruments just for fun, not really having the deeper connection and understanding and revelation.
No, people play guitars, but most of these people, that's why I'm always telling my fellows that don't just see the strings, because even a rat can hit its tail on it and it sounds, you know. But what makes it a guitar is the message, is the melody you choose to give to the people as a message. When you play something like that, you can play like, you can play that.
Wow.
You can play that. There are many ways, but you have to choose the right one, because that person who is there, who's admiring the guitar, you don't want to disappoint them. They should feel the melody. And so, as a recording artist at the same time, that's why in studios, you don't go to the studio to show what you've got, to demonstrate. No, you go to the studio to connect to the spirit of the song and find something that matches that spirit. So you play what we call signatures or hook. Each song must have a hook. That's why I can do la 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 la. Once you hear that, you know, I love that song. You know, it's called a hook. That's the secret behind it. And as I've told you, I've grown up supporting bands, and until I decided, as I've supported many bands in town. I've played with almost every band, including our big stars here. And I discovered the same thing I'm doing to them can happen to me as well. So why not me? Let me write my own songs and give the people the original me. So I came up with the band called the Kivu Jazz. The Kivu Jazz gives people the sound from the Kivu, where I come from. Because the Kivu is my village. Kivu is my village. We have North Kivu, South Kivu, where people are, where we politically.
Speaking of Kivu, what's the food that you eat there? What's the staple food?
Sombe.
What? Oh, the greens, right?
Yeah, you know sombe?
Yes.
The cassava leaves.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. If you invite me and give me that, I marry you straight away. Straight away.
All right. Back to the music.
Joking.
You have talked about, you know, connecting to the spirit of the song. You do have a song called Adonde?
Adonde ire. Adonde ire, that the word Adonde ire is a Spanish word that I loved musically, because I don't like limiting myself. You know, music is a spiritual kind of, as I told you, but again, we definish it as a general language. It's a universal language.
Yeah.
So I used the Spanish word saying "adonde ire," but it means where will I be after here? I wanted to speak in Uganda, but it didn't come.
So you do have Karunji there. Karunji can do a good.
And I wrote that song when I was doing what here in Africa we call secular music.
Okay.
I have a Christian background. I was born in a Christian family. Everyone up to now. It's me who is trying to step out just because I don't want to be a pastor.
You're running
I don't want to be. I want to just sing.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
So at some point I went to play in a band there in Kigali. It was called Tolerance Musica. We did, you know, just like Gagamel. And so my father called me back home. He told me, if you decide to go that direction and leave church music, never send me any coin of your money, because I need the blessed money from the church. And I thought about this. I started thinking. I went back because I left the village in 94. I started thinking, I left my family so I can make them happy one day. But then if I can't support them, if they can't receive any support from me, what will be my benefit? What will make me happy? So I went back on my knees and prayed. I actually prayed for at least a week. I remember praying, asking God to reveal his plans for me. That's where this song came from.
Okay, Adonde Ire. And then you also do have Mwana Wange. You speak Uganda so far. Well done and learning.
So far, all Uganda.
Do you have a Uganda name?
Wano bampita Mushega.
Mushega. Okay. Wano gwe bayita Mushega agenda tukolera Adonde. Ne mwana wange.
Sure, enjoy Adonde Ire. Na na ni na 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 ni na 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 ni na na. Na na ni na 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 ni na na oh oh. Na na ni na 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 ni na 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 ni na na. No 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 no. Mis amigos me han abandonado. ¿A dónde iré? Me regreso a casa. Porque estoy cansado, la vida es difícil, estoy oprimido y derrotado, está cansado.
¿A dónde iré?
Está cansado.
¿A dónde iré?
¿A dónde iré? Wenzangu wote wameniacha leo, niende wapi? Niende wapi? Nirudi nyumbani, kwa kweli nachoka. Maisha ni magumu, naonewa, nadanganywa, nashindwa, nachoka yo. Niende wapi yo?
Niende wapi yo?
Niende wapi yo?
Niende wapi yo?
What can I do, oh my Lord? I'm asking for your help. What can I do, oh my Lord? I'm asking for your help. May my heart be open. I wanna know your will. What can I do, oh my Lord? I'm asking for your help. What can I do, oh my Lord? I'm asking for your help. May my heart be open. I wanna know your will. Hablo just en mi corazón para guardar tu intención. Pa para da 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 da. Hey. Hey. Pa da 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 da.
Hey. Bera chendimu iwoto sane nyanya. Sichakomba kutulo kubanga bayekera bomukwano bakundesa nalinda wozolita netutandikirawo gye twasokera
twasokera olusi lwakalira sirina muwerero abebikwano bandekangu tebali kubebafu awakaze wantama nemubira bweru ngandinda tada nifanyeje Mungu we naomba nisikie nifanyeje Mungu we naomba nisikie open up my heart. Listen. Nifanyeje Mungu we naomba nisaidie nifanyeje Mungu we naomba nisaidie hablo de mi corazón para cuavia tu intención. Okay, if you're watching, I want you to do this part with me. When I say, you're going to repeat after me. Oh, yo, yo. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, oh. Ah, ah. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Ah, ah. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, ah, ah. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, oh. Ah, ah. Oh, yo, yo. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, yo, yo. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo. Ay, ay, ay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Next song's gonna be Mwana Wange. Is that how you say it?
Mwana Wange.
Kano kaimba wali mukwano gwange wo Uganda ya kampandikira. Eba mwita Wilbur. Yeah, he's one of my young brothers that God has blessed me with. He's called Wilbur. Enjoy Mwana Wange. Nkwakalanyo mwana wange echo chimanyi uli chimuche nkola nkera kumacha ntuyanira kwe nebola baninyagalole byona bikola lwakuba gwe njagalobe bulungi mwana wange munsi y'abalamu naye nino ubakabo mwana wange mpaka matugo mwana wange wo kumugongo mwana wange wo kumugongo uliriza mwana wange wo kumugongo mwana wange wo kumugongo ulira obanga mwana mukosi atanyoma milimu ono wangule seno Katonda Umusamu ekitiibwa mu buli kyokola. Weewalenga b'ebigambo tebalina kye bakongerako bakumalira biseera. Yiga okusiika ensigo Mungu wakugaga wazoyamba abavu omukwano. Yiga okola fuba ogoba obwavu mwana wange w'okumugongo. Mwana wange w'okumugongo wuliriza. Mwana wange w'okumugongo. Mwana wange w'okumugongo wulira. Mwana wange w'okumugongo. Mwana wange w'okumugongo wuliriza. Mwana wange w'okumugongo. Mwana wange w'okumugongo wulira. La 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 la. Beera muntu w'abantu mutabani kume mpisa muwala wange eneza amasanyu mangi bambikana kange nkusaba obe mugezi kuba obulamu zaabu bugu bugu tewaka bwe balugera. Bugu bugu tewaka bwe balugera. Bugu bugu tewaka bwe balugera. Mwana wange w'okumugongo. Mwana wange w'okumugongo wuliriza. Mwana wange w'okumugongo. Mwana wange w'okumugongo wulira. Mwana wange w'okumugongo. Mwana wange w'okumugongo wuliriza. Mwana wange w'okumugongo. Mwana wange w'okumugongo wulira. Nkwagala nnyo mwana wange ekyo kimanyi. Mwana wange. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. La la la. La la la. La la la.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Shopping needs this Christmas, come to Capital Shoppers. We have a variety of items like gift hampers, foods, garments, cosmetics, and all sorts of drinks. Enjoy your shopping experience this festive season at affordable prices in our fully stocked branches in the following areas: in Tinder Stretcher Road, opposite Makere Business School along Port Bell Road, Duster Street opposite Nakasero Market, and Garden City on Yusuf Lule Road. To all our customers and suppliers, we thank you for your continuous support. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, and wear your mask always.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
I feel happy when my mother spends time with me. I hope all mothers will like my mother. I want my mother to reach out to all mothers. She knows how important it is to be a good mother. I promise to help my mother inspire other mothers to change.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
Patriotism is a feeling of love, devotion, and the willingness to sacrifice for one's country.
I say no to corruption because I put my country first. I choose peace over violence because I put my country first.
I love Uganda. I serve Uganda. I sacrifice for Uganda. I'm loyal to Uganda. I love myself.
Be patriotic. Uganda first. This message is brought to you by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Co Uganda, Office of the President.
Well, welcome back from that wonderful music. Well, it's a Friday, but guess what? This is the kind of music that you need to just usher you into the weekend. But you also need the weather update, and I'm here to bring you that. And we'll start it off with following up a story on Typhoon Rai that has now hit the southeast part of Philippines. And so far we have tens and thousands of people being evacuated from the southeast of Philippines. Now this has brought in, and it did land as category 5 superstorm, that is a super typhoon, but now at least the good news is that it's starting to weaken into a category 3. Now with that, we look at most of the people that have been evacuated. At least more than 1,000 people did lose their homes, and are so far just being put in one place at least until the authorities find out where to gazette them. And then we also have most of the effects. The typhoon did bring in much rainfall, and it did make landfall with those torrential rains that have in turn created flooding across the city, and that is the southeast part of Philippines. Now we do expect similar effects even at category 3, because most of this kind of hurricane will not just go away. So even when it's reducing in strength, it is still going to make those strong winds across the coast. And to my surprise, actually, I'm wondering why these evacuations did not start as early as yesterday, because this was in the forecast, and at least we knew the path of the typhoon right from the weather centers. But again, I think it comes back to the fact that people always, fail to actually move from places when they are told that there's going to be extreme weather events. So that is still a challenge, but you can see authorities there trying to make sure they go through the flood and, making a little bit of rescues. But also in the other news, we do have at least more of the environmental activists coming on the scene, and that is across Serbia. Now, Serbia is within southern Europe, that is bordering Bulgaria, and also I think, Romania to that side. Now, people have taken it to the streets to strike up about lithium mines. Now, lithium is now a thought-for element that is looked for when we're talking about renewable energy. It is used in making electric cars and also within the generation of winds when we talk about wind turbines to have electric power. So when we're talking about renewable energy, this lithium is one of the thought-for elements to be extracted. But guess what? It is also causing mass damage to the earth, and environmentalists are actually asking for proper guidance into how this can be done safely, and just to make sure that, you know, we're able to have these mines go to renewable energy, but at the same time we look at the fact that we're also conserving the environment. So I guess that is what is being looked at right now. But we do expect, we did see the Prime Minister from Serbia also coming up to say that they have a plan to make sure that even when they're getting this important element right now, they're able to conserve the, you know, the environment. And this is to a huge numbers. People are coming to the streets, and also to remember that it is ahead of the national elections in April. So it will be interesting to see that, you know, they can clear this up before they go in for the elections. It's a perfect time to have most of your protests on the streets, because then you get the attention of politicians. So I think the activists across that area are doing well. But well, let's come back home here and take a look at the weather that is happening right now as we speak. This is tapping real-time data, and from the satellite I can tell you we do have that rainy system across southwestern parts of the country, that is across parts of Fort Portal towards Toroko. That area is already having a little bit of rains this morning, and also to the neighboring areas, Mbarara, Bushenyi, Rubirizi. That area is already having cloudy conditions. We do expect more of those rains this morning, but that will be clearing later in the afternoon. Also across the Lake Victoria Basin, we have that one that did start of early morning across the islands, but that has started to clear now. That is bringing cloudy conditions even here in Kampala and also parts of Wakiso and Entebbe. We're seeing mostly cloudy conditions, but we'll be having that sun also come through, and that could also stick around even into the afternoon. We could be looking at most of those wet weather conditions. Now, when you look at the northern part of the country, still dry. It is just having clear skies. When you see those gray areas, those are indicating cloudy skies. Now looking at mostly sunny morning, also to the upper side of Midwestern Masindi up to Lake Choga region. That area is already having just sunny skies, but we do expect a little bit of rains to develop later in the afternoon. Now, the good news is that we're starting to see a little bit of clouds coming through across the Elgon region. This area has been quite dry for the last couple of days. Now there is likelihood that there might be a little bit of rains, but also just to a few areas. So it's good news, but only a few areas will be seeing those rains. But we do expect as Christmas comes through, we can get a little bit of rains. They indicate good luck. But we'll go ahead and take a look into our forecast for today and look at what areas are expected to have a different kind of weather. Now we have the eastern part of Central, where we have Luwero, Wobulenzi, Budodi, Nakaseke. We are forecasting a mix of clouds and sunshine, starting off with a hot 28, similar to what we started off with yesterday. Now that is quite warm for that area this morning. Now we look at the eastern side of Lake Victoria, where we have Tororo, Busia, Iganga, Jinja. We do have a mix of clouds and sunshine in the forecast, also starting off with a hot 28 degrees centigrade. But we do expect later in the afternoon we might have a little bit of rains, so that might put down some of those temperatures. Now eastern Uganda, where we have Soroti, Katakwi, Amoria and Kumi, also forecasting a mix of clouds and sunshine, starting off with a hot 28 as well. But that area will continue with those conditions in the afternoon with sunny and cloudy conditions. Now Mount Elgon Highlands, we do have Mbale, Bududa, Boko, Sironko. We're having a mix of clouds and sunshine, starting off with a hot 27, but we will see also similar conditions later in the afternoon. Now we move further to southwestern Uganda, where we have Mbarara, Ibanda, Bushenyi, Rubirizi. That area will be clearing into mostly intervals of sunny and cloudy conditions later as the morning progresses, also starting off with a pleasant 26 degrees centigrade, but also later in the afternoon we might have a little bit of rains over that area. Now the western part of Lake Victoria, where we have Masaka, Kalisizo, Sembabule, we do have Raka in that category. We're forecasting isolated rains. and that will be starting off at 26 degrees centigrade. Later in the afternoon, we might also have those rains stick around a few areas, so do look out for that. Now coming back here, Central Lake Victoria Basin, where we have Mukono, Kampala, Entebbe, Wakiso, we do have Oyuko in that category. We're forecasting isolated rains. Those will be across a few areas. We already have clouds developing, and we'll start off with a pleasant 26 degrees centigrade. A similar system is expected in the afternoon, but also that might extend to a little bit several places across the country. Now, central northern Uganda, we'll have Gulukit, Gumpadel, Ajumani. We are forecasting a mix of clouds and sunshine, starting off with a warm 29, actually hot for this morning across northern Uganda. Now, it's not helping because even later in the afternoon, we're expecting those sunny conditions to continue, so temperatures will only be getting higher at least to 30s. And that seems to be really hot weather across northern Uganda. Same for the Karamoja region. Those areas tend to start off their dry seasons quite early. So we're looking at similar weather trending from December, January, February. So if you are around there, or even planning to move there, be aware that it is equally hot across that area, and mostly sunny conditions for that, the northern part of the country. Well, that is it in terms of weather, but we do have sports coming up. I can see Ruben is already set up, but guess what, right this morning I was just admiring that goal from Alexandra Trent-Arnold from Liverpool, a 3-1 last night against Newcastle. And Ruben, don't even start with me. I am with Liverpool. I don't want negative comments, but it is positive comments anyway. Good morning to you, Ruben.
Good morning, Amolin. Let me hope you're fine. I guess you're okay. How can I start even? I don't even know where to start from. But it was a good goal. Maybe for you, I've not seen so many goals of that nature. I have been around to watch such goals scored. So I wouldn't sit
some
here
negativity will come through. Yeah.
No, but it was a good goal, and the kid is really developing well, and I know that many people would love but watch it again, as Molin said. But of course, Liverpool is a team that is on form and on fire, so they can always get the best. Anyway, we have to start with NBA. We had games played this morning. We had the Pacers beating the Pistons. That